A short time ago, I was actually in conversation with the journalist Fabrizio Romano, and he gave us this idea that Spurs have got an idea who they want and that Conte's the man.
I would keep an eye again on Antonio Conte because he's always been the man in the list of Fabio Paratici. They worked together at Juventus. He was the main name on the list of Tottenham last summer, but there was no agreement. Let's see if Tottenham will be able to change his mind now. It's not going to be easy with Conte because he doesn't like to jump during the season. He was prepared to accept Man United, but with Tottenham, it's not the same at the moment. So let's see what Conte will decide when Tottenham will try for him.
So that was Fabrizio Romano speaking to me a short time ago. Simon, Danny, this is moving all the time. Yeah. What does this tell us about where Tottenham's thinking is now, Danny, Simon? Because we now understand that Conte is ready to accept Tottenham's proposal. The talks are underway, understood to be in their final stages, and now we're hearing he's expected in London pretty soon to complete the final details on the talks. So
what it
seems this is all but done.
Yeah, what it tells me is I'm talking myself in and out of an argument because I'm now factoring Paratici into the equation and thinking to myself, the relationship at Juventus, the relationship with him in Italy, and the fact that Paratici is saying, well, listen, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, Daniel, on Nuno Espírito Santo. I put my name to it. This is the guy. This is what he's going to cost to come, and we're going to have to back him. So it starts to take a different direction in that respect. What it does mean, though, is you're going to bring Conte in who didn't want to stay at Milan because he wasn't being given assurances about how much money they'll spend. Conte that will drive them insane, and it will produce the same outcome unless Paratici has got a different relationship with Daniel than anyone's ever had before. Because unless Conte gets exactly what he wants from Tottenham Hotspur, when he wants it, how he wants it. He stays everywhere for 2 years. Tottenham Hotspur are not Manchester United. They don't have the livery or the finances behind them unless there's a massive sea change.
Yeah, but Simon, if he comes and goes and he's won them something.
So you're building a situation where you're dealing with the here and now. The here and now is Tottenham fans are offside. They're unhappy. They've built a new stadium. The gleam is coming off Tottenham. So it looks like a here and now appointment, indulging Paratici in bringing someone in that's going to either win you something and cause absolute aggravation behind the scenes or win you nothing and cause aggravation behind the scenes. Which do you want? You're going to get a bit of both, I suspect.
If he wins him something, though, Danny, I keep on going back to Conte being this winner. If he wins him something, that's all the Tottenham fans want.
Well, then, yeah, I'm being more competitive. But
a trophy,
I tend to, thinking about it as we go along. I mean, I remember speaking to one or two Chelsea lads when he was there. And although they won the league, it sounds a bit contradictory, but they didn't enjoy it. They weren't enjoying it. You don't have to enjoy necessarily your manager and what he's doing to be successful, but it was a short-term thing. There was no way what I was hearing at Chelsea, even though they did win the league, that he was going to stay that long because the lads couldn't bear it. It was so intense. So that's going to be interesting.
Do you think it's a football project, Dan? Because looking at Tottenham Hotspurs there, they've got brilliant facilities, brilliant training ground, brilliant stadium, but a football project.
He'll hide behind it.
This to me feels like a money project.
He'll hide behind it. I think Conte will hide behind it's a great if he comes in. We're hypothesising. Yeah. If he comes in and says, "Oh, I'm really intrigued by this football project," he's talking nonsense. Yeah, but he can't sit in front of a camera and say, "They've paid me an extortionate amount of money, so I've taken the job."
Well, he's got to come back into football sometime.
He has, yeah, and we're going off.
But when you're winning leagues, and you're falling out with clubs every time you win a league because you can't have what you want next, right? How do you equate that to Tottenham Hotspur? Tottenham Hotspur aren't winning leagues and don't spend any money of comparative significance to the other side. How are you going to get Conte to... We factor in what Tottenham want, but you take out the equation of what Man City are going to do, what Liverpool are going to do, what Man United are going to do. So if Tottenham are going to go toe-for-toe with those guys, bang, Conte's a football project. Do you think Tottenham are going to go toe-for-toe at £250 million a season with Chelsea, Man City and Man United, or £150 million?
Well, Conte must be saying, yeah, I can get you toe-to-toe with these
clubs. But he's going to say that when he's being given X amount of millions a year. Look, what is the answer? What is the perfect solution for Tottenham fans and for the club moving forward? I don't think there is one. If you're talking about the best managers out there available and you want Daniel Levy to be decisive and go and make sure the sporting director, then Conte is one of the best managers out
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
So you can't argue that point.
If they're going to back him, if they're going to give him a hell of a lot of money, then I've been arguing for Conte to go into Manchester United. I cannot now not have that argument for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, correct.
But I'm looking at the DNA of Tottenham Hotspur and saying Daniel Levy, irrespective of devolving authority to Paratici, which he needs to do, will still have a control over the finances. And he'll say to Paratici, you can have autonomy over 50, 60, 70, 80 million quid. Yeah. But 50, 60, 70, 80 million quid isn't going to do you what Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool are doing.
He's not going to be able to make Tottenham competitive with 70 million quid.
No, it's going to have to be 150, 200 million quid.
Simon's a Tottenham fan who's been waiting patiently. Simon, just before I go to the fans, explain this to me. What's changed since the summer when they didn't
Simon's
want
hair.
Conte, and apart from Simon's here, when they didn't
Not as
want
blonde.
Conte, to now they do want Conte.
No, I think it may well be the influence that Paratici's had to bear over the relationship he can bring in with Conte. Maybe he's worked away, kept on convincing Conte, and maybe Conte wants another big bag of money. I don't know.
Maybe just added more money to the equation.
Okay.
And that may be as simple as that.
08717 223344. Simon, big Tottenham fan. Simon, good morning.
Hey, you're right, morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, mate. What's your take on all of this? Were you glad to see the back of Nuno?
I feel sorry for Nuno because he was the wrong man for the job and he didn't
Correct.
have the tools he needed. And I think he's a nice guy, but he did need to go. And he is not the problem at Spurs. He is one of them. But the problem is you've got Levy in charge who's making poor choices. Conte will just be another poor choice. Everyone on Twitter is talking about, oh, yeah, he's a winner. And like Simon and Danny just said, if you give him 200 million every summer, he's going to win you something. But he's not going to get that. It's going to be the Jose Mourinho situation all over again. He's going to go in there, talk a good game. There might be a bit of an uplift. Then he's not going to get what he wants, kick off, and we're going to be back here looking for a new manager in 12, 18 months.
Right, Simon, you're the first Tottenham fan to come to here to join Simon, me and Danny this morning. If they get Conte, is he the man you want?
No.
Fair enough. I understand why. I really do understand why.
So if not Conte, who do you want?
So for me, what they need to do is get someone like Eric Ten Hag from Ajax and say to them, 2 or 3 years, every transfer window, we'll get a couple of players, not loads, but we've got a really good crop of great young players coming through. A manager like him, who's proven quality, we saw what he did with Ajax, getting them into the semis of the Champions League, and
He's still doing
the
it
players
now.
he wants, and just sort of back him and say, we appreciate we might not be in the Champions League this season, we might not be in it next season, but Tottenham fans aren't idiots. If we can see on the pitch there's a plan, if we can see that there's a style of play that's moving forward, and that's what happened with Poch for those first couple of seasons.
It was.
The fans brought into it. They looked at him and thought, you know what, we're not winning trophies now, but we can see we're moving forward. Since Poch left and Jose came in and Nuno's come in, there's been no sort of moving forward.
Simon, Danny's agreeing with you. Yeah.
I think it's a great call. I mean, if you're what he's saying is what Simon was saying is Conte. We both agree he's a great manager, but is he the right fit for Tottenham? I tend to agree that with the fan that it's not the right way to go. Throwing a load of money at it.
Okay.
I mean, the Ajax manager is somebody who's not had to work. He doesn't need bags of money because he can't at Ajax. He coaches players. He believes in a philosophy. The level of play that their players play, it's tremendous. It's good football. It's good to watch. That could be a really good shout. Could be a really good shout.
He was mentioning the same breath as Newcastle last week. But Danny, we are expecting Conte to be in London soon to complete the final detail on the talks. So it seems it's beyond that stage. John's another Tottenham fan. John, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, mate. Where do you stand on this?
When Mourinho was sacked, Conte was linked. Said a bad appointment if we ever get him. I wanted Ten Hag from the start. Levy was too tight and wouldn't pay him the money. I don't blame Nuno. I blame the players. If you think it's the same, it's near enough the same crop of players under Pochettino, under Ryan Mason, under Nuno, and under Mourinho, and they're still playing the same rubbish football as they have for the last 2 seasons. There's only probably 4 players that are probably playing well. If I was the chairman, I'd be getting these players in, the likes of Harry Kane, for instance. If you don't want to play for the club, there's the door, see you later. He's not interested. These players are not interested in the club anymore.
I mean, that attitude might change if Conte arrives in the scene, no?
I don't think it will. I just think... I think Conte is, no matter where he goes, he brings bad press and he brings trouble to the camp.
Yeah, but John, they couldn't have worse press if they tried at the moment. Nuno lasted 17 games.
Yeah, but I still think they should never have sacked Mourinho when they did.
It's too late for that.
Exactly. I think to myself, Conte rejected us in the summer. Why would he come to us now when we're in a worse state?
So you don't want Conte? Yes or no? You want Conte?
More money.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. John, listen, thanks
Surprising,
for that.
isn't it? I mean, we've only had 2 calls on, granted, but it's the more you think about it, the more illogical it seems, really.
Yeah. Okay. More from Tottenham fans on the way, because this is moving all the time. We're now hearing that Conte is expected in London to finish off the talks, to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.